It's time for another Tesla News Roundup, so if you're in need of a quick sniff of Tesla updates to keep your day humming along nicely, this is the place for you. Today, news of a pretty big change to the way that Tesla compensates its sales staff. A Tesla Model Y gets more than 200 kilowatts of charging goodness from a CCS charging station thanks to an imported CCS adapter from Tesla South Korea, and why one analyst thinks Tesla's going to blow all of Wall Street's delivery estimates out the water. Oh, and the sad tale of the single Model X that just got an official recall notice from the US National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's recall website. But before we do that, a quick reminder that with truth and honesty, that's what we need to hold on to the good stuff we believe in. And we hope you believe in our kind of cleaner, greener, safer and smarter news. So if you do, we hope that you will consider hitting that subscribe button, ringing that bell, checking your preferences for this channel and sharing the love around for this channel and what we do before we land up loose and sad and free. And if you'd like to pull it back together with truth and honesty, stick around until the end and I'll show you how. I've got to admit that this episode of our Tesla News Roundup is substantially quieter than previous episodes, and I'm not sure that's a good thing or not. I mean, Tesla CEO Elon Musk has been a lot quieter than usual on Twitter, because he's been busy reportedly looking for alternative financing options for his purchase of said platform. He's also been attending the Met Gala with his mother and hitting out at Apple's App Store pricing, calling it a, quote, 30% tax on the internet, end quote. But all of that has nothing to do with the EV automaker that Elon Musk runs, and there are some nuances we don't have time to get into about all of the above. So, to the car company. After all, this isn't the Elon Musk News Roundup show now, is it? We start today with the news that, 1 week after General Motors announced its executive bonuses and remuneration packages would be tied to just how many electric vehicles it sold, Tesla will be going the other way, removing its bonus program for sales and delivery staff. Back in 2019, when Tesla announced it was going to try and shift towards an online model, moving away from having physical retail locations, it closed some of its stores and reduced the number of in-person sales staff. To continue to incentivize its sales and delivery staff to perform well in their jobs, Tesla introduced a new bonus program that offered rewards if their region or specific location met delivery quotas. Offered as a 25% bonus in the form of cash or stock options, I'm guessing it was quite popular, but now Tesla is removing that program entirely. Electrek quotes sources at Tesla who say the company is now cancelling its previous sales and delivery bonuses and instead offering all staff a 12.5% increase in base salary. That's all sales and delivery staff, I mean. Since the previous bonus was focused entirely on success or failure in meeting quarterly delivery targets, the new package should reduce stress with employees. But at the same point, the salary increase is just one half of Tesla's previous bonus structure. I'm guessing it will result in more cash in hand for some employees, but it will also mean that staff will no longer be able to build a vested stock in the company just by hitting targets. Of course, with Tesla continuing to hit its sales and delivery targets, that previous bonus was pretty much a shoo-in for most people working in that part of the company. But that doesn't mean Tesla is letting go of its bold goals for deliveries moving forwards. In fact, as we learned this week, Tesla is doubling down on its plans at Giga Shanghai with a brand new factory that Tesla says will turn Shanghai into the, quote, world's largest vehicle export hub. We'd heard rumblings of a second Tesla Gigafactory in Shanghai for some time, but in a leaked letter sent to the local authorities in Shanghai, Tesla confirms that it's working on building a new plant on a nearby piece of land in the same area as its first factory. It states the facility will add an additional 450,000 vehicles to its annual Shanghai output. Those vehicles will include Model 3 and Model Y, and it does, says Tesla, mean that Shanghai will be the world's largest vehicle export hub. While there's no clear indications of when work will start, it is likely that once Tesla has everything planned, the facility will be built in double quick time, making Tesla's Shanghai production capacity total 1 million cars per year, which is far more than the production output ramp-up teased by Musk during Tesla's first quarter earnings call. If you live in Europe, or another part of the world that uses the CCS Type 2 charging standard, you'll be very familiar with the fact that you can just rock up at a Tesla supercharger to charge your Tesla, or indeed rock up at any CCS Type 2 rapid charging station, because all Teslas in those markets use CCS Type 2 as their inlet of choice. For those in North America, however, where Tesla's proprietary charging plug and socket are still Tesla's preferred power transfer medium, if you want to charge at a CCS Type 1 compatible charging station, you'll need a CCS Type 1 to Tesla charging adapter. And aside from some very bulky, strangely shaped, buggy options, the only way to get one is to buy a Tesla-made CCS Type 1 adapter from South Korea, where Tesla actually sells CCS Type 1 to Tesla adapters. And then, of course, you have to get it shipped to you. At $250 plus shipping, however, it isn't exactly cheap. To date, Tesla's official CCS to Tesla adapters have offered charge rates of up to 150 kilowatts in South Korea. But this week, a Redditor posted details of their Model Y in North America charging at an EVgo charging station at speeds in excess of 200 kilowatts using their Korean-purchased Tesla Type 1 to CCS charging adapter. Since Tesla updates everything over the air, it's conceivable the company has increased maximum charging speed, but there's still no details on if or when such an adapter will actually be sold domestically in North America. Talking of charging, as I told you in a recent news roundup, Tesla decided to stop selling its cars recently with mobile charging connectors included as standard. From now on, you're going to have to pay extra to get one, something that has upset some Tesla owners, but in reality, Tesla is far from the only company doing this. Kia, Mercedes-Benz, and other mainstream automakers have been charging extra for portable granny lead charging solutions for some time. Anyway, this week, we learned that while Tesla might be charging customers for its mobile charging solutions, it's just changed the prices downwards for both the mobile charging connector and Tesla's wall connector. The first is now going to cost $200, $75 less than Tesla originally said it would be, and the Tesla wall connector now costs just $400, making it far cheaper than the majority of connected home charging solutions on the market today. As I'm sure most of you know, Tesla's over-the-air software update system not only allows Tesla to beta test new functionality on a massive test fleet of privately owned cars, but it also allows the company to roll out updates to fix problems with vehicles without even requiring customers to visit a service center. This week, Tesla officially announced its latest recall campaign to be carried out entirely virtually, an over-the-air software update to rectify an issue with the track mode software on some 48,000 Model 3 performance editions. According to the recall notes, the issue relates to the car's software not properly displaying the unit of speed. While you might think that's not a big issue if you're in track mode on a racetrack, it is kind of useful to know how fast you're going if you're trying to dial in consistency on corners. Tesla hopes to have all cars affected by this issue updated as soon as possible. And side note, I know some of you guys don't like us calling these recalls because they're not physical recalls, but software recalls. However, that is what they are currently being referred to as by NHTSA, and thus that's what we're calling them. Until NHTSA comes up with a better terminology for OTAs, that is. With Tesla setting itself an ambitious goal of ramping up its production year on year by 50% for the next few years, all eyes are on its plans for production expansion at its various facilities around the world. Opening Giga Texas and Giga Berlin has certainly helped, and the now confirmed second Giga Shanghai facility will also dramatically ramp up production. But at Tesla's OG production facility in Fremont, California, there are also changes taking place that means Tesla is exceeding its original production capacity. That's according to analyst Trip Chowdhury of Global Equities Research, who's always been keeping a tight eye on Tesla's Fremont production facility and its production capabilities. According to a note issued by Chowdhury to investors this week, he believes Tesla's production facility in Fremont is now operating at 10 to 20% above its original stated capacity. Having visited Fremont several times in the last few months, Chowdhury indicates that, quote, Q2 is shaping up to be a monstrous quarter, end quote. Backing up what he's seen from the facility, Chowdhury also says he's seen at least 20% more shipping vehicles than he's counted in the first quarter, dropping hints that things could be very good for Tesla by the end of Q2. So watch this space. Tesla has donated more Powerwalls and solar panels to help Ukrainians during the illegal invasion of their home country by Russia. According to a Ukrainian government official posting on Twitter this week, Tesla Powerwalls were sent by Tesla to 2 emergency clinics in the country to ensure that they can continue to be powered even if the grid fails. And finally, for today's news roundup, the most bizarre recall you're likely to hear about. As I noted earlier in the show, Tesla carries a lot of its recalls out via over-the-air software updates. But when there's an issue with the way a vehicle is put together or a problem with a physical part, there's only one way to fix it, right now at least: physically getting the car to a service centre. There's not been a massive physical recall campaign for any Teslas for a while, and this week we did hear about one physical recall notice. But it's a recall campaign for a faulty second row seat reinforcement bracket in Tesla's refreshed 5-seat Model X. And here's where it gets weird. According to documentation submitted to NHTSA, as it's legally required to do so, a handful of pre-production 5-seat Model X vehicles failed to meet federal vehicle safety standards for loading requirements during Tesla's pre-production phase. Tesla noticed the issue before series production began and redesigned the part in question so it wouldn't be present in production vehicles. But, according to Tesla, on March 21st this year, quote, due to an operational oversight, end quote, one pre-production vehicle was released from the factory and then delivered to a customer with that pre-production faulty seat bracket fitted. But, because rules are rules, Tesla had to go through the whole song and dance to notify NHTSA and the owner that their one car involved in this recall needs not to be fixed, but completely replaced. I seem to recall that's happened once or twice before with other vehicles from other automakers when a similarly pre-production vehicle escaped into the wild. But I've got to say, that is quite the exclusive recall club. That's it for today. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to leave your thoughts below or in our free to join Discord chat room. There are links in the video description. If you would like a more generalised news roundup in the world of cleaner, greener, safer and smarter vehicles, do be sure to check out our news roundup show every single weekend. And don't forget we produce videos on this network for you to enjoy, ranging from deep dives and features to tutorials, unboxings and reviews. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel and to our other channel, Transport Evolved Take 2, and be sure to give the bell a ring to make sure you're told when our next video goes live. Thanks on behalf of the entire crew go out to the folks on my right for being our $15 to $49 a month supporters. Special thanks to our $50 a month patrons, that's Chris Maxwell, Bennett Elder, Brian Newton, Dave Kitchen, Michael Goad, Ricky Leon, Andrew Martin, Guido Rahota, Brophy Wolf, Tesla in the Gong, Gordon C, Stephen O'Donoghue, Carl Hodgson, Anthony Coates, Regine Fellows, Paul Conway, Rory Litwin, Jim Burness, Chris Ascenter and Denny Hyde, and our deepest gratitude to our $100 a month patron supporters: Anonymous Freak, Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, Joe Bresney, JP Fagerback, Will Grayling, Matthew Drobnak, John Lyons, Christopher Lee Jones, Andrew Glenn, Paul Conway, Laura Reynolds, Ellery Hensley, and Ian. If you'd like to be part of that amazing list, you can join Patreon at the link below, hit the join button to support us on YouTube, or show us your support by sending us some donations through Ko-fi, we like coffee, or by buying something like this t-shirt from our cool swag store. And yes, Pride is just down the road, so this t-shirt, it's still there and ready for you to buy. And if you're unable to support us financially, just know that watching the video and sharing it with all of your friends, colleagues and loved ones really makes a difference to the channel's growth. And of course, thanks to you for watching. I will be back soon with more great content, but until then, thanks for joining me, and as always, keep evolving!